So MPs defeated that election are to get help in finding a new career. Did I tell you that this is at the cost of taxpayers' money as well? We're going to read into this more from the BBC, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here with an article from the BBC with the headline that MPs defeated that election are to get help in finding a new career. MPs who lose their seat at the next general election are set to get taxpayer-funded help with finding a new job, the BBC can reveal. What? Like, let's just step back for a second here, guys. Let's step back for a second here. Just let this sink in for a second, okay? MPs who are paid a shed ton of money for their jobs are to get, allegedly, according to the BBC, extra taxpayer money in finding a new career. Now, those on the upper echelons of MPs, like the high-end Conservative or high-end Labour ones, they do not need it for obvious reasons. But, like, how many MPs generally, in your opinion, need to be paid by taxpayers to help find a new career? That puts many things into question. This, for me, feels wrong. But a part of me is starting, the more I think about it, to feel a little bit torn as well. Because, like, any normal job, like, you want to help them find work. But should it come out of our taxpayer money, really? And my honest answer is no, it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. Like, these are grown adults. Why do they need to get funding to help find them a new career? There's lots of opportunities and things that MPs can go to after. Can they not? I guess I should take that back, because there have been some cases of MPs who have gone really quite downward spirals since being ousted as an MP. But I don't think it's right that taxpayer money should fund them finding a new career. I think they should be, not in my opinion. But honestly, I'm kind of wish-washy on this one, because because of the human being that I am, and some of you guys are probably more ruthless in the comment section. There have been cases of some MPs going really down a dark hole after losing their constituency. And that side of me is kind of thinking, is this going to make a difference? Is funding them, helping them find a new career, is that going to help them make a difference? While a part of me feels like, why is these sick, rich Conservative MPs going to be getting extra funding to find new careers? That doesn't sit right with me. Do you see where I'm coming from here? Because I'm feeling incredibly torn on this. So I think the best thing for me to do is, rather than me trying to make up my mind right now, let's read the article and maybe I'll have a better picture of how I feel. So MPs who lose their seat in the next general election are set to get taxpayer-funded help with finding a new job, the BBC can reveal. Under the proposed career transition scheme, they could receive free advice with tasks such as writing a CV from a designated career coach. Commons officials are looking into hire a recruitment firm to deliver the programme from next year. The move is part of a push to make being an MP a more attractive career. The scheme has been drawn up in response to a report by a committee of MPs in February, which found that some of those who suddenly without a job have struggled to find employment. It argued that those without more support for people when they leave Parliament could struggle to attract and retain talented people as MPs. Unless you have been an MP or work in that area, I guess there is a there is a case for it, perhaps. I'm still torn torn to a certain extent. Under the plans, support would only be offered to MPs voted out of their job at an election, rather than those who choosing to stand down. Okay. The cross-party body of senior MPs and officials in charge of common administration has endorsed the plans, and a process is now underway to choose an external HR company to deliver the training. Commons authorities hope to put a programme in place ahead of next general election, which is expected to take place next year. The final scheme is yet to be announced, but a draft proposal has been obtained by the BBC following a request under the Freedom of Information Law. An internal document from September recommends departing MPs receive a budget to spend with the winning training provider. Common authorities have blanked out the recommendation spending level per MP, arguing it could jeopardise the procurement process. No, there should be a cap on. There should be a cap. There should be a cap. That. I don't like that. Why is there not a cap? I don't want them going on a spending spree after they're gone. According to the document, the scheme could see defeated MPs offered on-demand career coaching and access to networking opportunities. It adds that they could also have access to a career coach to help them identify their transferable skills and write a CV that stands out in the crowd. It was proposed that MPs should be advised on the help on offer during a winding up period that they are given to close down their office after an election. This period for which MPs receive their net salary is set to be extended for 2 to 4 months at the next election. Yeah, I heard about the 2 for 4 months at the next election, that they're going to get additional money, but they're also going to get additional money as well on top. Am I reading this right? Does that not feel right to me? It just feels like we're throwing a lot of money at these MPs who are going to be gone. MPs who lose their seat also get a separate payment linked to their time in Parliament, which is averaged to $5,250 after the last election in 2019. Feels like they're getting a shed ton of money for being kicked out after. This doesn't feel right at all. Publicly funded career advice and training could run up to a year. The proposed recommendations. Authorities are planning for 150 MPs to lose their seats and anticipate around 60% will make use of the advice. A common spokesperson said the scheme would seek to deliver value for money as well as the best possible service for departing MPs. Former MPs' careers. The scheme would emulate the sort of an employer-sponsored advice sometimes offered by private firms and larger public sector organisations to employees who are made redundant. A number of local councils as well as government departments, including the Home Office and the Ministry of Defence, have offered departing staff such outplacements advice in recent years. The Scottish Parliament and Welsh Senate both have schemes to deliver careers advice to former politicians. In Canada, MPs voted out of office or opted to leave to get $15,000 for career advice and training. MPs are paid a basic salary of $86,000 and receive expenses to cover office costs, employing staff and having to stay in London. In recent years, a number of high-profile former MPs have landed lucrative private job sectors after leaving Parliament, though there is relatively little research on their careers of lesser-known MPs. Yeah. The lesser-known MPs are the ones I'm more concerned about, not the high-end ones. There's the lesser-known MPs, but there is a funding gap there. One academic survey of those leaving Parliament after the 2010 election found almost half of those under age 65 who responded took at least 3 months to find a new job, with 1 in 10 taking a full year. Although half were earning more than they had done in Parliament, 40% earned less and 10% the same day as MP salaries. Those landed well-paid directorships were a minority, though the survey carried out in the wake of the 2009 expenses scandal, which was acknowledged by the researchers. Okay, so this is my general thought. If they, let's just put some caveats in before I give you my opinion, guys, yeah. Let's remember, we are in a cost of living crisis. There are ordinary people right now who are in absolutely deep doo-doo and need some help right now and need finances. Is it right that taxpayers' money are going towards these MPs who have paid a lot of money? Does that feel right? No, of course not. It does not feel right in any way, shape or form. Especially after 13 years of the same political party, and I feel that anger. What I don't want, what I desperately do not want, is MPs on the lower end of things to end up going that downward spiral of depression and mental health and all that kind of stuff. In all seriousness, guys, regardless of what political party, they're still human beings, That the moral side of me is putting that into perspective, yeah, and I think that's really important. Um, I don't think they should be given as much money as they should be given. I think they should be given a limited amount, and it should be capped how much money they get, and they should be given a deadline to help find themselves a new work. They need to be I don't like the amount of money that they're looking at giving MPs. That doesn't sit right with me at all. Does not sit right with me at all. The amount of money, I think it needs to be much less, in my opinion, because compared to what ordinary people are getting, it's kind of a bit of a tongue in cheek, if I'm honest, because ordinary people are struggling as it is, and taxpayer money going towards these MPs on their ways out doesn't sit right with with members of the British public, and rightfully so. But I'm looking at it more from the mental health, well-being of people. I get it. People in the comments are going to be screaming and shouting at me like that they deserve nothing or whatever, and I understand that point of view. But if you're kicked out of your job and you have absolutely nothing, wouldn't you want something to help you get you on your feet, to help you get back on your feet? I think it should be something that should be applied. I think there should be I think it should be consensus for everyone. If I'm honest, but I'm glad they're not doing it on people who are choosing to step down. I think that's a good decision. But those who are ousted, it's going to be quite a shift in change at the next general election. That's for sure. But I personally think that they should get some money, but not the amounts that they've said in the article here, guys. I think they're getting far too much money, in my opinion. I think it's far too much. I'm speaking more of the MPs on the lower end, the ones that we are not aware of, the ones who are not very well known, the ones who are not very well highlighted. I'm referring to them, not the high-end Conservative MPs who are already going to private, making shed tons of money as it is, guys. I'm trying to put this from an emotional, human point of view. And I also understand if people were to say to me that I'm wrong to say that, and that's totally fine. You can disagree with me on it. But I think it should be something that should be applied to all work. If they lose their jobs, actually, if people are made redundant and all that kind of thing, I think it should be something that we should look at. Redundancy pays and all that kind of thing. Maybe that's something future government should look into reviewing as well, to ensuring that workers are given the best possible. Perhaps they should be given free career advice and that, so that they're able to go somewhere else. That's got me thinking, really. What do you guys honestly think? Let me know what you honestly guys think. Do you think it's right that taxpayer money going towards these MPs? Whether it's the lower end MPs that I'm talking about, the ones we don't know about, that could end up, who knows what happens to them, or even the higher echelons of MPs who are making big money, making speeches like Dizzy MC Lizzie Truss, for example. I am still a bit torn on it, but I want, maybe you guys will help me, give me a bit more open and clear-minded on this story, maybe with your thoughts in the comment section down below, because it is a difficult one. Perhaps those who are watching from other nations, other countries, have a better scheme, perhaps, for politicians. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Curious to hear your thoughts. Hit the like button, be greatly appreciated. Share this across social media, and hit that bell notification icon so you'll be notified of when I upload another video. And if you want to financially support me, you can do so by buying me a coffee or joining me on Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very soon.